So today what I thought I would do is that I would just take my Diet Coke and I would kind of decarbonate it quite a bit, and I would thicken it to mildly thick, and then I'm going to put it in my seltzer bottle. I'm going to put in some carbon dioxide, and I'm going to come back in a couple hours and see what happens when I put it in a cup. And that way I will find out for good, once and for all, if my theory is correct or whether this will actually work. So I put in 3 strokes from the pump, and we're just going to mix this and have it thicken. Now, of course, the other question I always get is, why would you thicken something? And of course, we're thickening this for people who have dysphagia, swallowing problems. This is where people have problems controlling their liquids, getting it successfully down into their stomach instead of into their lungs. And so we do this to help them enjoy their beverages. You can see I didn't take the care I normally do when I thicken this, and it is quite foamy, is the way that I have mixed it today. And I'm doing that because it doesn't really matter in this case, because I'm going to put it back in the seltzer bottle and let it sit for a while. And then we're going to see what happens when I come back and pump it out, having recarbonated it. So I think this is ready to go. We're just going to pour that into our seltzer bottle. And you can see it's nice and foamy. Just like one big foam to me, which is one of the reasons why we developed the techniques we have developed over the years to get something that looks more like a Diet Coke. But this is going to have a couple hours to settle out. And we're going to put in that carbonation, and we will see how it behaves after that. And, you know, I kind of have my theories, and sometimes it's always good to check your theories and make sure that you're getting exactly what you think you're getting. That's why I bought the seltzer bottle and why I made this video. So we're going to put in a carbon dioxide cartridge. And it just carbonated there. So I'm going to leave this in the fridge so it stays nice and cold, and I'll come back in a couple hours and we'll see how it's behaving. Stay tuned. Okay, so it's been 2 hours. Let's grab that seltzer bottle and see how the Diet Coke's doing. Now we're going to put it into the cup and see if the chilling and the carbonating redissolve the bubbles, and if we put them in here, when the mildly thick liquid is sitting there, are the bubbles going to come out? Is it just going to turn into a foam in 5 or 10 minutes? That's kind of the question we're trying to answer here. So let's go to it. Look at that. It just came out as a foam. And I don't think that's going to go away fast. So, as I suspected, when you try to recarbonate this stuff, it really does not come out non-carbonated. I do have one other thing we can try. Well, this sits here. Let's see if I crack if I just crack this open and then try pouring it out rather than going through the nozzle. Will that allow it to be not a foamy mess like this? So we're going to try that. Don't want to release it too quick. Popped out all right. Let's see how it pours out. It is not that fine-grained foam. So that is a little bit better if you do it that way. But I'm going to start a timer here, and in 10 or 15 minutes, let's come back and see if this has just turned into a foam. Okay, it's been a little bit more than 10 minutes, and you can see this one right here, which dispensed directly out of the soda siphon or the soda water bottle holder. it's still a big, huge foamy mess. There's a little bit of soda that's separated out there in the bottom, and it's probably hard to see, but I can see that some of the fine foams bubbles have combined into larger bubbles, but it's going to be a long time till that's ready to even try to drink. This one has released quite a bit of foam and filled up quite a bit, and there's big bubbles. It still has bubbles coming out of it, but this would be very difficult to drink. So when people ask me why we have our soda mixing directions and why we go to all the extra effort to do that, it's because these are kind of the alternatives, like even if you tried to recarbonate it. And that's why I don't recarbonate it, like thicken it and recarbonate it, because it isn't going to improve anything really that much. So the whole key is to try and get something that is going to be acceptable in terms of carbonation, not have a lot of foamy mess, and be easy to drink. So that was today's experiment. Thanks for joining us.